Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another morning coffee talks. Man, I just got back from the gym. It was a great workout. We had chest day today, but man, I'm just constantly building. I can feel it too. I'm constantly building, man, and I'm just proud of myself to continue the growth. But I had a thought in the gym. I had a whole nother video I was gonna make, but I had a thought in the gym, and I was just like putting together my thoughts. But it's definitely about how men basically get stuck at the body of a female versus being able to move beyond it to really get to their mind. And I think this is going to be a lot of the determining factor on how long a relationship lasts. And when you really think about it, a lot of men say they want a wife, right? Or they want a long-term relationship that can, turn into marriage. But they really spend all of their time or a lot of their time chasing, the energy of her body, right? And the truth of the matter is you can't build a real marriage if the only thing you're connecting with is basically her curves. And at some point, you've got to grow beyond beauty and get in her mind. I'm not saying don't, find a woman who's beautiful who does not have curves, right? But you can't get stuck there, right? You can't get stuck there. And I think that's what's going on with a lot of men. They just see, listen, God created the women to be beautiful. It's a lot of them that's beautiful, right? Some of them naturally, some of them made up, but regardless, they're beautiful. And I think a lot of us just get caught up in that and we don't move beyond that part. And that's when that maturity and that growth comes into play to say, look, man, every woman can be beautiful. A lot of them are beautiful. But at what point do you move beyond that to say, what else does she offer? What else can I see with her that brings value, right? That way we can have something real and we can have something long term. When you first meet a woman, obviously the beauty is the introduction, right? But it cannot be the blueprint. Her looks, can grab attention, but can they hold a relationship together, right? Long term love isn't based on the physical; it's based on alignment, right? And I think to start that process of getting aligned, the real connection is what starts in the conversations y'all have, right? Cause the truth of the matter is like physical chemistry is the easy part, right? You go out in the world, you see what you're attracted to. Hey, does she have the body type I like? Does she have the looks? Does she, have the whole style I like? Whatever, right? That's the easy part. That's on display all the time, right? But what's not on display is the mental chemistry, and that takes real time and focus. Again, you can go online and find them. You go in the real world and find what you're attracted to on display, right? Right in front of you. And you can pick and choose what you want. But when you do get to know them, are they backing up what they're selling? You know what I'm saying? Is the product what you're gonna buy? And so, do you actually like who she is outside of the bedroom, right? And again, that's what's gonna be the real connection part. Um, that initial connection, it can fade away real quick because you can go on a date with a woman, right? And they can look super good, but you could be turned off quick. You be like, man, this chick is right. You can start. She may say something you don't like, and he's like, yeah, they ain't really in line. And be like, man, she beautiful, she bad though, but yeah, I don't see her, so I'll put it in this category. But if you put it in this category when it comes to marriage, you like it's got to be certain things on the connection that makes sense, right? So that's why I say it has to be beyond the bedroom. Um, and even with that, man, it's one of those things where um, I feel like marriage is built in the mind, and again, a body can turn heads, but the mind state is what's gonna help build that legacy, right? Because it's like once you have your goals and your direction, um, you know, can she align with that on where you're going, right? Can she keep up with your thought processes with, again, your goals and what you're building towards. You know, does she have common sense to say, and again, I'm not saying women don't have common sense. I'm asking you, the woman that you're choosing, does she have the common sense to recognize what you're doing, right? To help you see where your legacy is being built and how you want to build it, right? Does she bring the value in that way, right? Can she lead beside you, right? Can she think for herself? Does she understand how to be a woman, right? That's what matters. Those things, the intangible things, right? The nuances. Here's the thing about it, though. Again, we're not going to push it all on her. You can't lead, and I've said this multiple times. You can't lead your woman if you don't understand her, right? Leadership in marriage, again, isn't about control. It's about direction. If you haven't taken the time to learn how she thinks, you can't guide her. You can't protect her. You can't grow with her. And that's crucial why you move beyond just the physical part. You have to tap into that mind. You have to understand how she thinks, what's her background, what culture is she involved in, and how does that impact her psyche, right? You have to get the chance to know how she thinks, because at that point you can really align, or even find out if you align with her. Or if you don't 100%, okay, is what I'm doing, can I make it work with her on her pathway, on how she's aligned, how she's wired, right? And if that is the case, then I can start to really bring my value into her and things of that nature. And that way we can grow together. And then that way I honestly can protect her, not only physically, but psychologically, emotionally. All that counts. But it takes time to really put it in to understand her beyond just the physical. And I think, here's the thing. I think that a woman's mind is her power source, right? Not just her body. Yes, the body is great and all of that, right? But it's only for a moment. Listen, it's only for a moment. Trust me. If you don't know how to connect with her mentally, you'll never unlock her best, man. You'll never get the best of her. And that's why I say, like, we all get older, right? We all get older. We all, as man, we don't get stronger as we get older, right? We get weaker. So we can't lift as much weight as we used to, in a sense. So the body is going to fade over time, but the mind can get stronger. The mind can get sharper. The mind can get wiser. And so that's why it's so important to build that earlier, the mental connection, than just the physical, right? And if you're able to unlock her best, then you get to see her ideas. Then you get to understand her intuition, her creativity. And that's what's going to fuel your household. That's what's going to fuel your vision. And that's what's going to fuel your peace, right? It's going to fuel your peace. And I want to say this other thing, right? If you ever played chess, there's a lot of different pieces on the board. And you got your pawns, you got your knights, and there's other pieces, right? But you as a king, the person that actually has the most moves, the most creativity on the board is a queen, right? And she's protecting the king. Listen, the pawns can really only go one or two moves, right? They can go straight or they can jump diagonal. The knights, it's been a while since I played it, but it's only certain moves that they can make on the board. But the queen, she damn near can do anything on the board. Even the king only has set moves he can do. But the queen can move how she want to move. And if you understand how to guide her on that chessboard, you'll always be protected. You'll never be placed in check. You'll never get checkmate. But if you don't know how to play the board, if you don't know how to see the board for her to move a certain way, then you're going to constantly be checkmate, bro. Because you're not going to understand the game that needs to be played, right? So that's just a powerful thing I always think about, man. Everything we do in life has purpose. Like even the chess, man, if you really understand it, I haven't played in a while, but I used to play when I was a kid. First, I started off with checkers, right? Just to jump you, jump me, right? But as you move beyond that, chess is powerful, man. It's very powerful. Just the game. But all this stuff, all these games matter. But let me not get too far off what I was going with the message. But the point is, listen, her body might catch your eye, right? But the mind is going to keep your heart, man. It's going to keep your heart. You know, don't settle for someone or woman who just looks good beside you. You know, build with someone who thinks with you, who plans with you, and who sees the future that you see it, right? So with that being said, man, drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. If you got any value, hit the like button on this video. And also, you know, hit that notification bell because we constantly dropping great videos like this. So, hey, I appreciate y'all. Much love. And until next time, peace.